to the garden centre to go and get some compost to fill our raised beds up with. So here we are at the compost section at the garden centre. I'm going to get 2 farmyard manures for my asparagus bed, and then I'm going to get 4 multi-purpose, and that will go on the beds around the asparagus bed. So we'll get 4 of them and we'll get 2 of them, and then the beds on the other side and in the fruit cage I can do at a later date. Just now going to go into the allotment and grab the trolley and the wheelbarrow, and that way we can load the compost up into them and then take them to the plot. I've actually got a lot of rubbish in this wheelbarrow that keeps meaning to go to the bin, so this is going to go to the bin on the way out. Okay, so here we are back at the plot. That was actually quite a hard slog today. It's really muddy on the site, so it was quite hard to pull that trolley. Hard for me anyway, I found that quite difficult. So this is the area that I wanted to work on today. So I always work in areas, and it was this area that I wanted to get all the compost topped up on, and I also wanted to mulch the asparagus bed with the manure. So the beds that I'm going to be topping up today are the one underneath the tree. That needs to have some cardboard put on it and then put the compost into it. This is where my peas were last year. I'm just going to take out the remnants of the peas there and just put the compost straight on top of that. And this bed here, this was where I weeded the pathways the other day. So this is all just the grass I pulled up. So I'll pop that in the compost and just put the compost straight on top of that. So we've now weeded this larger bed that's underneath the apple tree, and we've placed cardboard down because there is quite a lot of weeds in there, and that is a new bed. I haven't grown in that before. So we're just going to cover that with compost. But the other two, these ones here, we've just taken out the weeds that I'd actually taken up from the pathway the other day, and this one we've just taken out the remnants of the peas, and the compost can then just go straight on top of these beds now. So that's these 3 beds with compost now freshly in there, so that looks so much better. The asparagus bed over here doesn't need to be done. That was done when I planted the asparagus last year, so that's absolutely fine. This is where I've just planted my broad beans, so I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that as it is. And this one, I'm waiting for the foxgloves to come up a little bit more so that I can transplant them where I want them to flower, and then I can top this bed up as well. Now for the asparagus bed. So it's got a cocoa mulch on it. So Vince is just going to pull the mulch to one side. We're going to top up with the manure on one side, then pull the other side of the cocoa mulch this way and put manure on that side. So we're going to do half and half at a time, just to try and save some of the cocoa mulch because it is quite good. So we're just going to put the manure on this side, and here's the pile of the cocoa mulch here. So then once this side's done, we'll move this side over and then mulch that side. So that is the asparagus now mulched and ready for spring, and 3 of the beds now topped up with compost as well. So I feel like that's been a really good hour spent, because those little jobs are done, and sometimes it is just ticking those little jobs off the list. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you again soon.